Volume of a pyramid and cone. Now if I were to give you a rectangular or a cube, I could split this cube into 3 different parts. 1 part, 2 parts, 3 parts. These 3 parts that I just took out would be congruent. For each type of cube, rectangular prism, or a pentagonal prism, there would be 3 different pyramids, congruent pyramids, that would fit into that prism. So when we're talking about volume of a pyramid, it's going to be the base area B times the height times 1/3, or divided by 3. Because it's the same thing as finding the area of a prism, but we have to divide it by 3 because there's only going to be 3 pyramids that can fit into each prism. The same thing goes for a cone. If I had a picture of a cylinder, I could break it into 3 congruent parts to develop a cone. So here I'd find the area of the base, which would be your radius squared times pi, times the height of the cone, and times it by 1/3, or divided by 3. So if I want to find the volume of a rectangular pyramid with length 7 feet, width 9 feet, and height 12 feet, I take 7 times 9 times 12, this whole thing divided by 3. So my base would be equal to 756, and then I have to divide that by 3 to get 252 feet cubed. Now looking at this picture here, the same goes for any type of pyramid. So first I have to find the area of this trapezoid. Area of the trapezoid is going to be B1 plus B2 times the height of the trapezoid divided by 2. So 9 plus 18 will give me 27. 27 times 6 would be 162. Divide that by 2 would be 81. Now that's the area of my trapezoid here. To find the volume of the trapezoidal pyramid, it's going to be the area of the base times the height of the pyramid. Divide this by 3. And I'll get 540 meters cubed. Volume is always cubed. So I want to find the volume of a cone with radius 5 and height 12. R is equal to 5, H is equal to 12. So if I find the area of the circle of the cone, it's going to be 5 squared times pi. Radius squared times pi is the area of a circle. And multiply this by 12. So far I just found the area of what would be a cylinder. And now I have to divide it by 3 because it's a cone. So this would be equal to 300 pi divided by 3, which is 100 pi centimeters cubed, or 314 centimeters cubed. I want to find a cone, the volume of a cone with base circumference of 21 pi and height 3 centimeters less than twice the radius. The first thing I want to do here is find what the radius measurement is. So my circumference is equal to 21 pi. The formula for finding circumference is equal to 2r pi. And I want to find out what r is equal to. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2 pi. My pi's cancel out. 21 divided by 2, give me 10.5 is equal to r. Now it says the height is 3 less than twice the radius. So if I were just to write this out, it'd be 2 times the height minus 3, or 2 times the radius minus 3 is equal to the height. So my radius is 10.5. 10.5 times 2 is 21. Subtract 3 will be 18. So 18 is equal to my h. So when I'm finding the volume of this, it's going to be my radius, which is 10.5, squared times pi, that's the area of the circle, times this by my height, and I have to divide by 3 since it's a cone. So if I were to multiply this all out, I would get 1,984.5 pi divided by 3, which is roughly 661.5 pi centimeters cubed. Without the pi units, it'd be 2,077.11 centimeters cubed. If I'm looking for the volume of this cone, I do not have the height, and you do need the height in order to find the volume of a cone. But if I look here, the height with the radius and the slant height form a 90-degree triangle. So if I label this B, A, and C, C is always straight across from your 90-degree angle. So if I'm looking for B, 16 squared plus B squared will be equal to 34 squared, which would be 256 plus B squared is equal to 1,156. I have to subtract 256 from both sides of the equation. B squared is equal to 900. And then when I take the square roots of both sides, because I have to get rid of the squared, B is equal to 30. So now when I find the volume of this, my radius is 16, so I have 16 squared times pi, that's the volume of the circle, multiplied by the height of the cone, which is 30, and divide this whole thing by 3, which is 2,560 pi centimeters cubed, or 8,038.4 centimeters cubed. Now I want to find the volume of this compound figure. It might be hard to tell, but it's basically a rectangular prism with a rectangular pyramid taken out of it. So the first thing I want to do is find the volume of the rectangular prism. If I look at just the rectangular prism, that would be 25 times 12 times 15, which is 4,500. And if I want to find the area of the rectangular prism, I'm going to have 25 times 12 times 15, because the height is still going to be 15 and the two base lengths are 25 and 12. But now I have to divide it by 3, which would be 1,500. So I have to take 4,500, subtract 1,500 to get 3,000 feet cubed. Homework for this lesson is on page 709, 6 through 21, and 38.